Ba-da, da,
Ba-da-dum,
da, da, da,
bum, 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 ba-da-da-dum,
da, da,
bum,
da,
bum, ba-da-da-dum,
da,
bum,
da,
bum,
In a
da,
bum,
galaxy
bum,
far, far
bum,
away,
bum,
it's
ba-da-da-dum,
the
bum,
Vagrant
bum,
Kings.
bum, ba-da-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-da,
Well, that was the worst
ba-da-ba-ba.
opening ever.
I know. We had Mal like, come in and put paper on the door. It was pretty good.
I was off on almost every single note, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah. Our Star Wars song was pretty darn awesome, guys. It was pretty rad. So I really liked that.
Speaking of Star Wars, you know what we have? Tons of info on flippin' Star Wars this week. It's freaking awesome.
I know, it's super exciting. D23 happened this week too, so that's why we have a lot of Star Wars info.
Yes, that's the reason for the crazy Pitch Perfect Matt and Austin intro. It's beautiful.
I know. We actually practiced so many times to nail that right on the head. So
Lies. First take. That was first take.
but we did listen to the intro like a billion times. It's kind of like, ooh, what's the bass part? Oh, what's the treble part? So,
Yeah, Matt was flipping loud, so I had to tone him down a lot.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's jump right into this Star Wars extravaganza of news or plethora. I don't know. What's the proper word for that?
A plethora.
A plethora of Star Wars news. And so just to let you guys know, Korea had a new Star Wars trailer.
Mm-hmm. Star Wars South Korea, officially.
Star Wars South, I didn't know they had their own Star Wars company down there.
Star Wars is everywhere.
But they showed a new trailer for The Force Awakens and had 2 seconds of new footage.
I was freaking out at work.
I actually had to make sure I noticed it because I almost missed it. But it had the Nazi.
It was the very first 2 seconds.
It was the very first. Well,
Yeah, how do you... Oh my goodness.
I was like, oh, this is the trailer. I don't know, whatever. But anyways, it shows Nazi-esque view of the First Order army and shows some TIE fighters and walkers to the right. So that's kind of like...
It was cool. Gives you the feeling. Gives you the feeling of Star Wars. Like, oh... Actually, I kind of got more of a Lord of the Rings feel from it. Like we're...
Oh my gosh.
But I don't know. It was,
I don't know.
It was still
I didn't...
pretty cool.
When I saw it, I didn't notice the TIE fighters and the walkers until you said something like, did you see those TIE fighters? Like, what are you talking about? And so I had to go back and look at it. It looks pretty fantastic. It was almost as like crazy of a feeling as when I saw that broken Star Destroyer in the first like trailer. So.
Oh, when that started... Oh, man. Oh. Anyway, moving on. Kylo Ren, who's the bad guy that you kind of see.
Yeah.
He is... J.J. Abrams, the director, talked a lot about him, about his backstory this week in this week's Entertainment Weekly. Kylo Ren apparently is familiar with and inspired by Darth Vader. And the movie, according to J.J. Abrams, explains the origins of the mask and where it's from. But the design is meant to kind of be a nod to the Vader mask, which is really sweet.
I know. Well, it's just like the Vader mask was always like kind of menacing when you first saw it. So his mask looks pretty creepy, or not creepy, but kind of like epic and like mysterious, like the Vader mask was. So I'm pretty excited to.
It reminds me of Revan in Knights of the Old Republic. I know you never played that game, which I'm super disappointed that you never. But it reminds me of the main character in there, Revan. So if any of you played KOTOR or Knights of the Old Republic, then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Did you play as Revan? Or?
Yeah, no, not really. I mean,
so he's like a main guy that gives you missions or something, or?
Well, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. There's a huge twist in there.
Guess I'll have to
There's a bigger twist in there than BioShock, so I'll let you stew on that.
Okay, I'm listening. But I guess this Kylo Ren guy, which isn't his full name, it's just Kylo is his name and Ren is a title. He has this title because he was in an army, the Knights of Ren.
Well, right? It's not really an army. He didn't really explain what it was. He just said a group. He is a character who came to the name Kylo Ren when he joined a group called Knights of Ren. Close quote. That's all J.J. Abrams has said about it. The Knights of Ren. So
that's pretty cool. So it's
as soon as I read that, I just pictured them going, "We are the Knights of Ren." Ren.
Oh my gosh!
We're the Knights who go Ren. Ren.
Ren. If that makes it to the movie, I'll be pretty stoked.
That'd be pretty funny.
But that's kind of interesting because that's kind of telling you more. Like, I don't want to be able to take J.J. Abrams as scripture, but I mean, like, that could be diving more into like, ooh, who are the Knights of Ren, and we could see more of what they are. So that's kind of exciting to news as well, I think.
I'm pumped. So. Real pumped. And the Lawrence Kasdan, who's written a ton of stuff, he's got this great quote right here. He says, "I've written 4 Star Wars movies now, and there's never been a character quite like the one that Adam Driver, who's playing what's his name? Kylo Ren. There's never been quite like the one that Adam Driver plays. I think you're going to see something that's brand new to the saga. He's full of emotion, no matter how we express ourselves in the world, whether we hide it and act very calm or whether we're very out there and demonstrative. Everybody's rolling with emotion, and you want your characters to be that way too. Then they have to deal with their emotions as best they can with what they are. That was something I really liked about Vader. When you first meet him, he's just like shouting at everyone, "I want them alive!" And just like, holy cow, who the heck is this boss here? So I hope Kylo Ren kind of gives that same oomph.
I know that is pretty exciting to be able to have that emotion, because that's what makes Darth Vader super cool. Like you said, that oomph, that's scary. You were very intimidated by him, and then of course he had that soft side, like I am your father, and blah blah blah. And then near the ending, you're just emotionally attached to Vader. Yeah. So it's pretty exciting. Something else that's cool about Kylo Ren, for all you super Star Wars nerds out there, is he did build the hilt of his lightsaber, because I know a lot in the Star Wars universe, people are like, oh, you can make your lightsaber look any way with the super crystals and blah blah blah. So we're gonna be able to maybe see a little bit of that little knight blade or the knight sword that he makes out of his lightsaber.
That'd be neat. I didn't even think that maybe we'd get to see that. Star Wars isn't big too much on flashbacks, so maybe not.
We're not gonna see it, but like it's still like a nod, like he made it, so that's why his hilt looks like that, and it just kind of proves the nerdum of crystals and whatever. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I had a friend that was super into it, where it's like you have to go to this certain planet and kill this monster to get this crystal for your lightsaber. Like,
yeah, okay. It's all over the place.
Thanks, buddy.
So, some kind of sad news though is that J.J. Abrams has confirmed. He already said kind of he wasn't, but he's confirmed he's not directing Episode 9. And Disney and D23 today announced who would be directing it. Hold on, let me get it down. It's the director of Jurassic World, the one Jurassic World that just was made.
Oh,
and
really?
Everything. His name's like Colin or something like that. It should be pretty exciting though. He's pretty good.
So that's for Episode 9 though.
Yeah.
So what about 8? Did they mention that?
8 is the director of Looper. His name is Ryan Johnson. So he's going to be doing that.
Are they already filming that?
No, they're not filming it. Right now he's just writing still. They don't even have the full story like fully fleshed out yet. They have the beginning, obviously, Force Awakens. They're done with that. And they don't really have a middle, and they kind of have a good idea of where they want to end. Okay. But they don't really have. I guess all you need is
the beginning of end ending. So.
Yeah,
to make a good story.
Well, I don't know. Most people say Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back is the best one. So.
That's the 5th one, right?
No,
that's Episode 5.
4. Oh yeah, 5. Yeah. I get my numbers mixed up all the time. You're right. I'm sorry. Don't kill me. Something neat about J.J. Abrams, though, again, is that Poe Dameron, if you guys have seen the trailer, the X-Wing flyer guy.
Yeah.
That's Poe Dameron. He's played by Oscar Isaac, who's also going to be playing Apocalypse in X-Men.
Oh, okay.
So this guy's getting kind of everywhere. But anyway, Poe Dameron. This is a quote from J.J. Abrams. He said, "Dameron, the name, came out because it was obviously a name that I know, and it just musically felt right. He named it after his assistant, Morgan Dameron." Isn't that awesome?
That is pretty cool.
That's super cool. How often do you hear something like that? Like, hey, you're my assistant, so you know what? You've been super great, so I'm going to name a main character after you.
That's pretty cool.
That's
and he's probably going to be, the character's probably going to be like super like cult classic favorite, so.
He already looks like it. He looks like a boss, so I'm excited for that. Star Wars: The Force Awakens opens December 18th, 2015. I thought it was the 25th.
I know, we totally thought it was Christmas. But this just in. D23 announced some more stuff about, of course, Star Wars, not just The Force Awakens. But
for everyone that doesn't know what D23 is, by the way, it's like Comic-Con, but just Disney-owned stuff. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Is it numbered after like the years consecutively?
1923. There's like a significant event in Disney history there. I think that's when Walt Disney made his way out west. That's like the first.
Okay, so they just named it after that.
Yeah, D23.
Okay, I was seeing like next year would be D24. Okay, cool. So anyways, D23, they announced some more news for their theme parks. I guess Disneyland and Disney World in Florida, they're going to be adding 17 acres to their park for a special Star Wars section. All Star Wars.
Star Wars land.
Exactly. And so I mean, my favorite ride's already pretty much Star Tours, or one of my favorite rides, and so it's gonna be exciting to just have an area just full of Star Wars stuff.
They're going to be changing Space Mountain, like seasonal to seasonal change. They're changing Space Mountain to Hyperspace Mountain. So
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. But
if the ride goes faster, then everyone's just gonna. There's gonna
throwing
be
up
a puke thing right next to it.
little plastic bags for you.
But that's pretty exciting. They announced a couple rides they would have in there already. There's like one where you're flying with Han Solo and stuff in the Millennium Falcon. And you're doing a special covert mission, which is pretty exciting. And then another one where there's going to be a battle from The Force Awakens between like the two main armies there. I don't know.
Obviously, they're not going to leak any information about what that battle is yet.
Yeah, so you're going to be able to fight alongside them. But something that was cool, I think Igar, is that his name?
Yeah, Bob Iger.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't say his name.
Not Igor. Like.
Bob Iger, he kind of made a remark saying, like, you're going to see some characters in the park about, like, from old and new, but he mentioned more of, like, the characters from, like, the old sagas, so, like, 4, 5, and 6. He never mentioned anything from 1, 2, and 3, and I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, goodness.
That's kind of what the vibe I got from his little speech there. So.
We're not going to get into that discussion. I will be here forever.
It's pretty exciting.
It's going to be cool. So that's a ton of Star Wars news. That's a lot of good stuff. Star Wars Land, lots of info on Kylo Ren. They released a poster today. It looks pretty sweet. It wasn't the main poster. It's just kind of a tease.
It was way cool though. I mean, you get to see. Well, I don't want to just
Finn and Rey and Kylo Ren.
Finn is the black gentleman. That's the stormtrooper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's cool about him is he is holding a lightsaber in the picture, and so that's obviously showing that he is a Jedi.
Yeah, it's not just on his pants or anything. He's actually like wielding it. It's lit up and everything.
It's glowing, and so if you guys haven't seen that poster, check it out. There's also been lots of kind of like photos that were taken of the set, and you guys gotta check those out. It looks amazing over there.
Definitely. Well, kind of moving on from Star Wars, we'll probably come back to Disney stuff here in a second. This week, a new trailer was released for Quentin Tarantino's 8th film called The Hateful Eight. Go figure.
It was awesome because I literally just watched Django Unchained like a couple days ago, and then this came out, and it looks really cool. It looks like it has that same vibe to it, and so it looks like an old Western movie. It's starring Kurt Russell.
And his mustache. Mustache is going to get Best Supporting Actor. Oh my goodness, it's huge. You have to go watch that. It's super huge mustache.
But it's got Kurt Russell. Of course, it's going to have Samuel L. Jackson. He's almost in every single one. Tim Roth and Michael Madsen. Pretty much, it's about a bounty hunter, which is Kurt Russell, right?
Yeah.
He captures his bounty, but he gets stuck in a house with the others during a storm. And so there's a few. If you go check out the trailer, he has a few lines like, "This is mine, and this is gonna be mine," and everyone just looks like a scumbag, like, "Yeah, right, whatever."
I'm bringing her in live, and all you guys. It looks really sweet.
And the bounty he caught, she looks kind of pretty wicked, so it might be all of them versus her or something. I don't know, but it looks like a really good. It's a Quentin Tarantino film.
It looks really fun. She kind of reminded me of Bellatrix Lestrange in Harry Potter. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like she had that crazy psychotic look.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see it. It looks good.
Yeah. Well, after Hateful Eight at work, I watched Trumbo, which is starring Bryan Cranston, John Goodman, Elle Fanning, a whole bunch of awesome people. And it is about Dalton Trumbo, who was a Hollywood screenwriter. And he gets blacklisted in the 1940s for being a communist. That one looks like an Oscar movie to me. That trailer looks super cool, super fun. I'm really pumped for that. I don't know about you, Matt, but
I'll have to check it out. I haven't seen the trailers. So.
It's pretty sweet. I was just like crapping my pants the whole time. This is great. This is great.
I literally thought it was like some sort of like. From the name, I was like, it's going to be about a trombone or like
it's a musical.
Dumbo 2, like Trumbo, Dumbo's brother.
Trumbo.
But okay, so that sounds pretty cool. I haven't heard too much about that story, but maybe it'll be an Oscar winner, like you said. Yeah. This one, I also haven't seen the first movie of this, but Godzilla 2 had a quote that it's going to be bigger and better. Oh,
no way!
Whoa!
I get so sick of this sometimes. Like, what else? I wish the reporters that are asking these questions would actually ask good questions, or something where you wouldn't get this answer. Of course, Godzilla 2 is going to be bigger and better. Why would someone say no? We're going to have it smaller and simpler.
Every single Godzilla interview they've ever done, they've always been like, it's going to be bigger and better.
Well, this Godzilla, they showed like the scale of all the other past Godzillas that were shown. This Godzilla is like 10 times bigger than any of the other Godzillas that have ever been shown. So I don't know how much more he's going to be playing basketball with the moon after in this movie. I don't know what he's going to be doing.
I don't know. It'll probably turn into some weird Dragon Ball Z, like Resurrection.
Instead of the blue flames, it's going to be gold. Oh goodness.
Something I saw that was pretty cute from Disney. Yeah, cute. It's a new Inside Out short has been included with the Blu-ray. If you guys haven't seen Inside Out, it's about the emotions that go inside you, like joy and sadness and happiness. You should go check it out. But the Blu-ray is coming out soon, and it's kind of about the girl going on her first date.
Well, the short in the movie.
The short, not the movie. So.
Yeah, it's so if you haven't seen it yet, she runs into this boy. And this isn't part of the plot or anything like that, so I'm feeling kind of okay to say this right now.
No spoiler.
No, there's no spoiler. She runs into a boy, and in the boy's head, well, she bumps into him. And as she bumps into him, we go up into the boy's head, and all the emotions in the boys' heads are just running around, and there's this alarm system going on that's saying, girl, girl, girl.
everything's on fire. It's
so
pretty good. It's really funny. And so in this short, they showed a little clip of it from the short, and it was really funny. The dad's like being overprotective, the mom's trying to be hip with the times. So.
It looks good, so go check that out or buy it when it comes out. It looks funny.
Of course. In other news from Pixar, D23 announced today that Toy Story 4 is going to be a love story between Woody and Bo Peep. It's going to be coming out June 2017 and directed by John Lasseter.
John Lasseter is the man right there. He's the best.
I listened to an interview with the lady that is writing Toy Story 4. I'll get her name.
Yeah, you were mentioning that to me.
Yeah.
This sounds... Oh, man. This movie... What intrigues me about this, though, while you find that, is that Bo Peep was kind of sold off in the Toy Story 3. Woody mentioned it as like a side note type thing. But I also remember that Buzz kind of had a thing-ish for Bo Peep. I wonder if there's going to be a rivalry, like not a buddy cop, but like a buddy rivalry between Woody and Buzz over Bo Peep.
That'd be interesting. But the lady that's writing the movie, her name is Rashida Jones. She's known she played a slight role in The Office, also in, I think, Arrested Development, and she was also in I Love You, Man, I believe. But she was a screenwriter or a writer for like a romantic comedy with finger puppets, and she showed it to Disney, and Disney was intrigued and said, we'll call you when we have a project, and she gets Toy Story 4. And so in the interview I listened to, she was just freaking out like, what? Like, you're giving me this big project? And I just did a finger puppet romantic comedy. And so it's pretty exciting. She seems like a really funny like person, and she's very good at like telling story from like a female's point of view, and so it's going to be a pretty cool. I'm excited to see it.
It's going to be neat because it is a romance, so I bet John Lasseter is going to learn a lot from this. It's going to be fun. I think it's really going to be fun. Also in D23 news, Mona, which is Disney's next, like Disney animation, not Pixar. Disney's next thing is going to be, it's a movie set 2,000 years ago in the South Pacific. And it's about a girl that's traveling around, meeting all these kinds of creatures and people and stuff. And they don't have an actress for her yet, but they do have an actor, or a voice actor, for one of the guys. And it's going to be voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
They showed pictures of him up on stage, and his guys behind him, and he pretty much looked the same size as the guy, just this massive dude with tats on all over him, like the tribal tattoos and stuff. So it looked really cool.
That's exciting. I'm excited for this because if those of you who don't know, I didn't know this, but I guess Frozen and Tangled are by the Disney Animation.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. So that means this is going to be probably equally as good as those
and Big Hero 6.
Well,
So-
Big Hero 6 was.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought that was
yeah.
Pixar as well. So
No.
don't get those two confused, guys. Toy Story. And
Well,
all that.
Pixar kind of does it. John Lasseter and Ed Catmull, they were the heads of Pixar, and then Disney bought Pixar, and then they promoted John Lasseter and Ed Catmull to be the heads of both Disney Animation and Pixar. So that's why Disney animation movies have like stepped up in quality lately.
Yeah, of course.
So that's some good stuff. Let's see. Moving on, after Mona, we have Finding Dory, everyone's favorite fish.
Dory's coming back.
Yeah, and she's going to be trying to find her family. Nemo overhears her saying stuff in her sleep about Monterey, California. And so they're going to be traveling there. They're going to be on land and on sea, according to leaks and all these other stuff. Yeah. And
they showed a picture, a screenshot of it, and it had this octopus guy. They're calling Hank the Octopus. He's gonna be voiced by Ed O'Neill, so that's pretty exciting. I mean, it's gonna be cool to be able to see this story. I did not know they were gonna make a sequel this whole time, so it's pretty exciting to see this movie coming back.
It's gonna be great. Of course, they're gonna make a sequel to this. Finding Nemo was the #1 animated movie for the longest time.
But I did not know it was gonna be.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for it. I think that's pretty much all we got for Disney. They had a whole bunch of they released all the posters, a lot of the posters for these movies, and Finding Dory and Toy Story 4 and Incredibles 2.
Oh yes, we forgot the good thing you mentioned that. That's exciting too.
Yeah,
that was a really big, and people say that's one of the best Pixar movies.
I think so too. It really branched out a lot of stuff.
Probably the best superhero movie.
Well, yeah, it did so much for Pixar because before they had trouble animating fire and water and all that stuff, and then Brad Bird, who's the director, said, "Give me all the guys that want to experiment and are the crazy ones, and we'll do it." And so they did it, and now I guess maybe as a thank you, they're giving him Incredibles 2.
Well, didn't you say that he said he would not make the first Incredibles unless he got a sequel?
Yeah, he really wanted the sequel super bad.
So I'm excited to finally see that coming out soon.
I might be getting that mixed up actually with How to Train Your Dragon. I'll have to double check on that.
All right, well, don't listen to us on that part. But listen to us on everything else, but that part, just erase. Let's
just move on quickly before people think about it too much.
Yeah.
In TV, this is crazy. This is
nuts.
This is just real crazy. This is true, by the way, okay? This is probably the bad timing to bring this one up.
This is true. This sounds so fake. It's true, okay? Sesame Street has been bought by HBO, so it's no longer owned by PBS. So back then, PBS, had Sesame Street and they were only down to 15 episodes, but because now since they're on HBO, they're going to be bumped up to 32 episodes, I heard.
Yeah, well, I thought PBS still owns them. I think HBO's just doing the new seasons now.
No, well, what happened was PBS owned them, but was only funding them a little bit, and so they're getting outside funding and can only do a certain amount of episodes. But now HBO is fully funding them, and so everything will be aired on HBO, and then 9 months later be released onto PBS. And so they're getting more episodes, and that's pretty exciting. I mean, I don't watch Sesame Street, but just to see HBO being able to buy a big market and taking over the Sesame Street series, it's going to be pretty drastic because Sesame Street's on Netflix and it's no longer going to be on there. So
that's insane. But I really think that HBO can see the writing on the wall. Cable TV is really just going away, and so it's their way to compete with Netflix and diversify its library. So it's going to be real exciting. Different change. Totally weird. So right after you watch some mature head chopping, you can switch over to your ABCs and Count Dracula.
Emma's World.
Oh,
but that does it for pretty much our movies and TV. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, now we're here on video games. We got some Destiny news.
Of course.
Every time we're going to talk about Destiny, just to warn you. No, I'm just kidding. But this is a really big week. We got Game Informer. Their front cover is going to be all about Destiny, and so the whole article, the cover article, is just all about it. Destiny, of course, said it's going to be bigger and better, just like Godzilla.
If they had Godzilla in there.
Yeah, they're the ones making Godzilla. We're going to fight him. But they said it's going to be the best content to date to beat the whole game. And so the game already has some really memorable moments, but they say this is going to be 10 times better. So
I'm excited. Game Informer had a bunch of hands-on impressions. They say the story is not embarrassingly bare this time around. It's an actual story. So maybe cohesive for once. I'll know what I'm doing most of the time. There's going to be more guns than were present at launch. I think that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So there's more guns in this expansion than there were in the base game. That's a lot.
They're adding a lot. So it pretty much is like Destiny 2, guys. So if you haven't jumped on board, when the Taken King comes out, I would recommend playing this game.
Yeah, you're not going to be losing anything because
you're going to be gaining probably about more than we did.
Yeah, especially because all the regular weapons that you're going to find laying around, those are going to be better than the stuff that I got, worked my butt off for in some raids. So that's ridiculous.
But we still need that vault space.
Yeah.
But there was a cool little interview with Luke Smith and The other guy.
The other guy.
The other guy. Luke Smith is kind of like the face of the operation, but they look dog tired, which is a good sign. They're working hard, but they were kind of mentioning how the story was totally bare, like we said a little bit earlier in the first Destiny, and how they heard what the fans said. They wanted to know a little bit more, and so they talked about what they're adding to the game. They're adding kind of like a little thing on the top right corner of your screen that kind of shows who's talking when they're talking to you, so you can kind of get to more character development. Like, oh, this is Shaxx talking to me. This is
Zavala.
Yeah, Zavala, whatever, whoever talks to me. And so you're going to be able to know, even when your ghost pops up, it's just going to say ghost in the corner.
Nolan North.
It'll say Nolan North or Peter Dinklage. No, I'm just kidding.
Peter. Oh.
But that's kind of interesting. They're adding more of that so we can kind of get to know the characters more. But also, as we kind of mentioned last week, they're adding a little thing where you can it will kind of show up when there's something for you to scan to learn more of the lore about what's in the area.
Mm-hmm. Probably my favorite part is that there's going to be subclass missions, and where you'll get at the end of the mission, you're going to have like almost an infinite super. It's going to recharge really fast, and you can just kind of practice around with it. And there's going to be a bunch of enemies running around with their heads cut off, and you can just unload on them. So that'll be fun. It's kind of like a try me mode. It's going to be sweet.
That is pretty cool. Like I said earlier, more character-driven like story. So like some of our favorite characters, like Cadus, is that his name?
He's obviously our favorite character.
Well, one of our he's not my favorite character, but he's voiced by Nathan.
Cade 6.
Cade 6.
Yeah,
I don't know if
close.
it's Cadus or like
You were
Cade
close.
6.
You were close.
I know. I just don't pay attention. Like that's how bad Destiny is coming to this. They don't really mention. You just read his name.
The guy that you probably go to him at least a dozen times.
Yeah, he's like the hunter guy who sells the stuff. Anyways, he's voiced by Nathan Fillion, who, if you don't know who that is, he's the guy from Firefly and Castle. But he's going to be a bigger part in this game. He's going to be more of the cocky attitude that he always has. And so it showed some screenshots of him like flipping a wrench around and being all like, hey,
I'm the best.
I'm the best. And
You guys are going to kill God? Well, yeah, whatever.
hey, I'm the Fonz.
I'm the Fonz. That's honestly kind of the feel I got from I'm the Fonz. Yeah.
What? What's up? But yeah, he's going to be more of driven in the story. We're going to see some screenshots with them. So it's kind of exciting to finally have like character development. That's kind of what this game's been missing.
Yeah.
So.
Also, if you ever wandered around in patrol mode, you found like those patrol beacons, and then that's where you would sometimes talk to Cade 6 from a patrol beacon. When you're on the Dreadnought, you're going to be planting patrol beacons, kind of like for future. So it's really involving you in the story. Like, hey, I did that earlier, and now I'm kind of doing stuff with it for once. So it's going to be fun. Well, at least I think. And on the Dreadnought, which is Oryx. Crota's his son. Gosh, I think I said it again. Oryx's ship, the Dreadnought, is going to have, like, there's a special exotic on it. It's split up into 50 pieces, and you go around and collect them all. So it's going to be kind of a little collectibles thing right there. That's going to be cool. And the Dreadnought is supposed to be really different, really, from all the other patrols. It's going to be full of chasms, tight corners, battlefields, a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be pretty varied, which I was surprised by.
Yeah, this Dreadnought does sound giant, like real massive. And so I was kind of skeptical, like, this is going to be our only area? Is this going to be a ship? But the ship sounds like it's like 3 planets.
Yeah. It's gonna be big.
But speaking of 3 things,
did you do that on purpose?
no. I literally just made the perfect.
That was perfect segue. I'll let you segue it away.
But anyways, Xur has a new item called the 3 of Coins. It boosts your chances of an exotic drop on the next boss fight.
You haven't been very lucky in your exotics, have you, Matt?
No, I really suck at getting exotics.
I was too lucky, which meant I got bored with the game quicker. I've got everything except for Pocket Infinity, and so this new item here thing is gonna make you real happy.
Yeah, it's gonna do well with this because of course they're doing the thing where you can't really get the same weapon twice too much, and so if you're like, oh, I'm missing the Galahorn, you got to go get that, which you shouldn't be missing anymore because, of course, Xur just sold it this week.
Yep,
so.
today. Well, yes, yesterday and today. So you haven't bought it yet. That's a bummer. So this is something that I really like as well. There's going to be varied events within strikes. So if you're fighting some Cabal, the next time you go through, you could be fighting some Vex. Next time you go through, you could be fighting some Taken. Next time through, you could have a turret where the ammo was or something like that. It's going to be a little bit more random, which is going to be exciting because I can play a bunch of those strikes through my sleep now.
That sounds pretty Left 4 Dead-y. That's what made Left 4 Dead such a good game is because it changed every single time. The zombies weren't in the same spot. So that sounds really cool. That makes me more excited.
Mm-hmm. And so there's going to be more strike mechanics too. Different, not just like bullet sponges. You're going to have mechanics that
Mini
you actually do
waves.
stuff.
Mini
waves.
pretty much.
Yeah.
More like, and like just in the vaulted glass, there's like
shields and things you got to take down and oracles.
little orbs that pop up they have to
Yeah.
shoot. Man, I'm terrible at naming stuff.
Glowing blobs.
Approve, Destiny, approve. But
oh, goodness.
so last week we were kind of dumbfounded of what they're going to use light on. So to kind of be more precise, light is a measure of your power, not level. And the area's levels will have recommended light power level. So it's still going to come into play on certain strikes and stuff.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's going to take you by the hand and help you out a little bit. That's pretty much all we got for Destiny. There wasn't too much news. Oh, Halo is rated T for teen, not M. It's the first Halo 5. Mm-hmm. That's something else that I found this week.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that. That came out, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Some people were upset. Some people weren't. Honestly, I never thought all the other Halos should have been rated M in the first place. Kind of.
Well,
I don't know.
Oh, well, they're.
I don't know.
Maybe they're because there is a lot of blood in Halo. There's like the
blood. And there's like the creepy flood as well.
Yeah,
that's
so
kind of
maybe
gross.
that's a sign the flood's not going to be there. I don't know, but
that's an idea. I don't know.
Because we pretty much destroyed the flood, third one.
Interesting. Well, in the fourth one, there wasn't any flood. There was just
I never
the
played
Forerunner
the fourth
guys.
one, so.
Boy, was there? I forgot already. That's how intriguing Halo 4 was to me. Forgot
but
already.
This new one looks great. Of course, Nathan Fillion's in that one too. Just to let you know.
Yep. So back to Star Wars.
Well, actually, we had someone email us.
Ben? Yeah, thanks, Ben.
Yeah,
You're
Ben
the best, Ben.
from Arizona emailed us, right?
I forgot you were alive, Ben. No, I'm just kidding. I love you,
But
man.
he emailed us. He's asked us some questions about some cool stuff. So he actually got some news for Star Wars Battlefront.
This is actually something I totally should have done in the first place. So
I know. We've been real slack. We've just been too focused on.
Too addicted on Destiny.
I know.
Why? Why did you do this to me?
But Star Wars Battlefront. For those of you who don't know what Star Wars Battlefront means, it's a fighting game where you can play as stormtroopers versus the Rebel Alliance and maybe even some other stuff.
Not really a fighting game. It's more like a third-person shooter game. Because
I didn't mean you know what I meant. Like
it sounds
a shooter,
like Street Fighter.
Shooter. Yeah,
Can you imagine that?
Fight.
As a stormtrooper, you're just like missing everything.
Hadouken! And it just misses. Worst character ever.
Goodness.
But no, it's a first person shooter or third person shooter, your choice on that, of like kind of like Battlefield kind of style fighting and stuff. And so what's coming out? It's coming out November 17th of this year for Xbox
it is made by DICE actually.
Yeah, that's
so
who
yeah,
made it.
Battlefield, yeah. So it's coming out this year. You were saying
November 17th for Xbox One and PS4 and the PC just a few weeks before The Force Awakens.
Do you think that's on accident? No.
No.
There's actually a special battle in there. Everyone gets this free expansion. Again, that's something else that gets me. Why if everyone gets a free expansion, is it really free or is it just a part of the game?
Exactly. They should have just added it.
So everyone gets this. There's a special battle in there called the Battle of Jakku.
Mm-hmm.
And in the trailer, that's the sand planet that we see they're on. It's not Tatooine. And so it's a little kind of a sneak peek into The Force Awakens, I guess.
Well, Battlefront's always done this because when Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out, they had parts from Episode 3, and it came out before Episode 3 did.
I had no idea.
Really?
Really, yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah, so they did that in the second one, and you're like, oh, what's this? And then you go see 3, you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, so they're just kind of continuing the trend. Cool.
And hopefully this one does kind of what Battlefront 2 did. They did a lot of kind of like stuff from the books as battles in Battlefront 2.
Well, something that this new Battlefront is missing that Battlefront 2 had is space battles. There's not going to be space battles. But they're still going to have aerial combat, like with TIE fighters and X-Wings. They're just going to be over a planet. And something neat that you can do is that you can kind of get like a power-up, unlock it, especially within a battle. You can unlock the Millennium Falcon. So the Slave 1, that's Jango Fett's ship. Mm-hmm. Or is it Slave 2 now? I can't remember which number it is. I think it's Slave 2. But why would they call it Slave 1 if there wasn't a Slave 2? Anyway, but so yeah, you can get some sweet stuff. You have all of the Jedi fighters as well, and it looked really cool. It looked super Star Warsy and everything. It looks a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So November 17th, pre-order it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be solid. I don't think Disney is going to let something like that not be solid. So
it's going to be a good one, and if you're a Battlefront fan, of course, get this. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of the people that made Battlefront, DICE, Battlefield 5 has been confirmed. It will ship in 2016 around October. They have a game come out every year. So this year's Battlefront, the year after will be Battlefield.
Yep. So that's what they're committing their resources to. There's not really much else on Battlefield 5, is there? That's just it. Yeah.
Yep. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be like this last one, but if it is, well.
If they do 2 in a row, someone's going to get fired. two bad ones in a row, that'd be bad. Something that I was watching earlier is Rainbow Six Siege. You're going to be having gun customizations like sights, skins, silencers, so the regular shebang that Call of Duty's brought in. But and then they got rid of the drop shooting exploit, so where you kind of just lay down on the ground super fast and shoot people because it minimizes your target. If you so they got rid of that. There's a delay now. But something that really made me like really love what they were showing was an awesome spectator cam. Like it looks really cool. So you have an 11th player that can just kind of go around and view and watch the game, and so you can get kind of tips for people that are hardcore. But I really think the makers of Rainbow Six Siege are really trying to push it to become an e-sport. And with that spectator cam, it looks really cool. So you can kind of see the entire strategy of the teams play out as it's going on. It looks really fun.
Something I always loved about the Rainbow Six games is how strategic they were compared to other first-person shooters. Because like Call of Duty, you're just kind of like, I'm a boss, you can't kill me. You just really run through everything. And then Halo was like, I really suck. I need to use stuff. But with Rainbow Six, it was more like, okay, I have a buddy. We need to coordinate together. Like it was very like team tactical, tight knit stuff, and you needed to be proper on the communication because it's a really realistic war game. So I'm excited for Rainbow Six.
I never played much Rainbow Six, but I'm probably gonna delve into Siege a little bit. It looks fun.
Oh yeah.
Something else that I was watching on and that Ben emailed us about, wanted info on, was The Division. The Division it's a weird game. The best way to describe The Division is it is a mix between RuneScape, Destiny, and Call of Duty and Gears of War. And Splinter Cell. It's just the weirdest thing ever. So it has this area and in the open world part called the Dark Zone, which is like a PvP loot area. And so you can go through and kill other people, as well as just regular characters, NPCs, and you can just collect loot. But it looks awesome. So you have healing grenades, you have weird stuff, you have the tanks and the support people. So it looks weird. It looks fun, but it's going to be strange to pull off.
It's different. They're doing something new here, and so it's kind of exciting. We got to see some gameplay over at our Comic-Con over here in Phoenix. They played some of it there, and it looks like a real beautiful game. And so
it looks real good looking. But.
So get excited for that. It's is there a date on when it's coming out?
Shoot, I should have wrote it down here. I'll get that in a sec. I'll look it up real quick. But something else that they did that someone did say, someone was at Gamescom and they wrote their impressions on it, and they were saying though that the multiplayer looks lackluster, as in it came into a lot of stalemates. So if you'd ever watched Gears of War,
or played Gears of War,
or played Gears of War, it ended up in the stalemates lots of times. Or not necessarily a stalemate, it just got stale. It really just slowed down into this one-on-one, just taking forever to go on. And so that's what happened a lot in a lot of the multiplayer games, where it just drug on and everyone's just waiting for the other person to make a move. So here's the release date. It's going to be March 8th, 2016. At least that's what they have down for right now.
I think this game's been postponed a couple times, but
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Oh well, but Gears of War. If you want to know more about that, the remake is coming out, and then of course Gears of War 4 is coming out soon as well. So the Gears of War remake is coming out August 25th of this month. So
nice. Well, to wrap it up, we got last game that me and Matt were really hoping for. Matt was really hoping for this bad boy.
I know most of you, even if you don't play video games, I know we have a lot of people that don't play video games. You're gonna know who this video game character is. The guy that made Mega Man, his game's coming out September 15th. It was Mighty Number 9, but it got delayed till 2016. So all of you who are itching for some Mega Man stuff, you get delayed again.
If you don't know what that is, go look up some YouTube videos on it. It looks really fun. It looks really cool. Or at least some screenshots of it. It looks really cool. And this is the spiritual successor to that game, but it's
Mega Man.
delayed again, and there was some drama behind that. The creator didn't really know what was going on for a day, and then all of a sudden it was delayed, and then he was like, "No."
Well, someone released that it's delayed, and the creator's like, "No," and then like the next day the creator's like, "It's delayed."
Oh,
So like someone pre-released the information, and then he wanted, I don't know, maybe he's just like, I want to be the one that says it's delayed. I don't know, but
there's some weird stuff going on there.
but it's kind of a bummer. I mean, I was looking forward to that game because I have that day off for The Taken King and for Mighty Number 9. So, oh well.
Kind of sucked a little bit, but yeah. So that's it for video games. That's all we got there.
It's time for Austin's Bits. Gotta love those bits.
Gotta love those bits. All right, so this is something funny I found while I was at work this week. So I learned that there are only 3 artists who have achieved a top 40 hit in every decade since the 1980s. So the first one is, this is kind of obvious, Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Second one is Madonna.
Okay.
All right, who do you think the third one is, Matt? This is gonna blow your mind.
In every generation?
What?
Wait, repeat the first part.
Who the 3 artists? There's only 3 artists that have achieved a top 40 hit every decade since the 1980s. So who do you think the third one is?
Lady Gaga?
Like, no, no, she didn't have a top 40 hit in the 80s.
Oh, in the 80s?
Since the 80s, there's only been 3 people that have had a top 40 hit every decade.
Okay, just a second.
So Madonna, Michael Jackson.
Cher.
No, not Cher.
What the heck? Okay.
This is Weird Al. Weird Al. I died when I read that.
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was gonna be someone, just like respected, and I mean
he is respected.
I know, but he's a parody singer. He's not like an actual.
He steals other people's top 40s.
Exactly, he steals
and then
others'
makes a
top 40. He's the smartest one of them all. So that's Austin's bits for this week.
Gotta love those bits. Anyways, guys, we are super sorry for how long this podcast is. We had a lot of news from Disney.
Blame it on Disney.
Disney, how dare you? But guys, thanks for listening to another episode of the Vagrant King podcast. Remember to subscribe, to rate it, and to tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends. Maybe we'll get some sponsors and have commercials for you guys.
Yeah.
Everyone loves commercials.
Commercials.
So thanks, guys. We'll see you next week on the Vagrant Kings podcast.
All right, bye.
Love ya.